Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ted Romanko. I'm the Union County Prosecutor. We're here today to announce that an arrest warrant has been issued for the arrest of Caleb McGillvary, also known as Kai to many of you and to much of the public. Mr. McGillvary is 24 years of age and is an itinerant drifter. I'm going to give you a timeline of the events that occurred at the last week, starting with Saturday, May 11th. On May 11th, Joseph Galfy, who was an attorney in Union County, an attorney for well over 40 years, who practiced in Galway, New Jersey, traveled to New York City, to Times Square, where he met Mr. McGillvary. At that time, he took him back to his home in Clark. And when he took him back to his home in Clark, they stayed the night. Mr. McGillvary stayed with Mr. Galfy. And then at 9:30 the following morning, which was Mother's Day, Mr. Galfy took Mr. McGillvary to the Galway train station, where we know Mr. McGillvary left and traveled to Asbury Park. Sometime during the day, Mr. McGillvary returned to the Galway train station, and he actually texted to Mr. Galfy to pick him up. We do know that, in fact, there were communications between Mr. McGillvary and Mr. Galfy. He stayed at the house that evening. As a matter of fact, at some point early in the evening, Mr. McGillvary reached out to a person we'll call fan number one. I don't want to identify this woman. But he reached out to this person and said that he was going to cancel the meeting that they were going to have later that evening at his Mother's Day. And it was quiet, relatively quiet, until about 9 o'clock that evening, when Mr. McGillvary called out a number of times to fan number one, we'll call her, and asked her to pick him up. She couldn't do it. After that, the phone went dead. We do know that there's some distance between Clark, the home of Mr. Galfy, and the Galway train station, and that during the evening, Mr. McGillvary traveled to the Galway train station, where he eventually got on a train back to Asbury Park. He then met fan number one in Asbury Park, and they had lunch. And they decided that they would go to Philadelphia. But what this fan number one, who really knew him through the internet, noticed was that his hair was different. As I've learned on YouTube, he had long, flowing hair. He had cut his hair. Now, this is a picture that was taken of him that morning. And that picture was taken when they left Asbury Park and traveled to Philadelphia to spend the day. When they were there, they had lunch. And again, fan number one took this picture of him. It's not the best as far as seeing that his hair is cut, but it is cut, and it was cut. We don't know at this point in time where it was, but we're looking into that also. Then fan number one came back with Mr. McGillvary to New Jersey, and they traveled to Glassboro, where fan number one wanted to bring Mr. McGillvary back to her place to stay, but was not permitted to by a relative. So she then called fan number two. And fan number two, who lived in Glassboro, which is about 10, 15 minutes outside of Philadelphia, agreed to have Mr. McGillvary stay the night. And he did spend the night there in Glassboro. The next morning, Tuesday, now we're talking about the 14th, in the afternoon, he then left the area and went to Haddonfield, a nearby town, to pick up a train to go back to Philly, where he was last known to be. We believe that he was traveling south. He indicated he was going to see someone down in Georgia. And from that date on, we've been looking for him. We don't know whether he's in Philadelphia, if he's in Georgia. We don't know where he is. But we do know that this man is used to being on the road, and he is considered dangerous. Make no mistake about it. He's considered armed and dangerous. As we've learned, he has, in the past, had the ability to use the back end of a hatchet. So it's very possible he might be carrying them. If people see him, we're asking them, please, please, notify the local police and tell them. Let's go back for a minute. The night he was with Mr. Galfy, which was Sunday night, when he came back from Asbury Park, we know that he came back. We have solid evidence of the fact that he's back. And I'll tell you quite frankly in the form of pictures. We know he was back. We know that sometime that night, Mr. Galfy was murdered. He was found the next morning, Monday morning, in his bedroom, partially clothed. He had his underwear on, he had socks on. He was beaten severely about his body. The autopsy revealed that he died of blunt force trauma. We believe that the state will be able to more than adequately prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt. And we're asking for the help of the public in finding this man. You can, and hopefully someone will reach out and call this number. We have a special number for this case. The number is 908-219-6735. There's also the Crime Stoppers in Union County, 908-654-TIPS. If a person calls the 219-6735, they will be considered for a reward, just as though they had called Crime Stoppers. So with that, I will take any questions that you have.
Prosecutor.
Do you believe he used the hatchet to kill?
Any comment? We know that it was an object which I can't go into at this point in time.
Have you spoken to fan number 1 and fan number 2, and are they in any way going to be charged in anything that he's going to be charged with? In other words, helping him?
Sorry. We have spoken with the fans, and we don't anticipate any charges. They've been very cooperative. These people knew of him. I mean, he has an incredible following, I gather, on YouTube, and they knew him through that particular medium.
Do you have any idea what the motive was?
We're not sure what the motive is, but we believe that that will, in time, resolve itself. Yes, sir.
Prosecutor, why does this guy have fans?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this. I never saw the guy before I heard he was being charged with murder. But people have different strokes for different folks, I guess. Yes, ma'am.
Was anything missing from the home?
I can't comment on that.
Do you know how they came to meet in Times Square? Was it through the internet? Was the attorney himself a fan of this man? How did they connect up?
I don't know the reason why they connected up in Times Square. It would be mere speculation on my part, so I don't know that. And we're looking into the reason why. I mean, a lot of these facts are going to develop as time goes on. We were fortunate enough through the hard work of the police department, and I have Chief Sheriff alongside of me. He's the Chief Clark, and excuse me for not introducing him, and the Sheriff, Ralph Froelich of Union County. The Sheriff's crime scene people were at the scene. But we developed slowly but surely through some hard work the fact that Kai was there. We had pictures of him. So we knew who we were looking for. There's other evidence, too, to indicate that he was at that house. So slowly but surely, the rest of it is being filtered into. The reason we wanted to have this conference now, because there's a lot of speculation out there. There were calls out from Fresno, from some station, I'm not sure if it's an ABC affiliate, but that this guy was arrested, and initially he was the one who did this. We don't know where they're getting their information, quite frankly. The information is right here from me. but there's too much speculation out there. And this person is evidently a high-profile individual, so we wanted to clarify that for the press that he is wanted for murder.
Prosecutor, obviously being a drifter, whatever you want to call him, he's kind of unusual behavior. Is he considered emotionally disturbed or anything else that would also be of concern to the general public?
I wouldn't. I don't know whether he would be considered emotionally disturbed, but anyone who murders someone is not normal as far as I'm concerned. He is dangerous. He's considered dangerous.
Have you been able to figure out? Have you been able to find any correspondence between Kai and Mr. Galfi?
Yes.
Prior to that meeting?
No.
For correspondence while he was on his way to
over the last few
Park?
days. Over the last few days.
Okay.
Yeah. Over the last few days. Yeah.
What's Kai's prior record, if he has one at all?
I even if I knew that, I couldn't tell you. I don't know what this gentleman's prior record is. I don't know.
And were the correspondence, were they text messages or were they other types of messages that they had in the last few days?
Text.
You are aware of his heroics out in California, right? I mean, this is...
I heard what he...
My understanding, that's why he became an internet sensation. That's why he was on Jimmy Kimmel with the hatchet. He saved two people's lives, basically, is the story. He was in court. He testified against the guy who attacked this other man, yada, yada, yada. Is that your understanding why he became this internet sensation and why he has a fan following? And is that how these two fans knew him from that kind of thing?
I mean, obviously the public became enamored of this guy. They became enamored of Castro before he became a murderer. But the reality is that this man was well known, and that doesn't mean that he did not or could not become involved in a crime. We believe he has. We believe he's murdered someone. An attorney, by the way, who was in this county, who was well respected, well regarded for well over 40 years. So, as far as we're concerned, I don't care who he is. We're looking for him. We consider him the person who murdered Joe Galvin.
Was he hitchhiking in Times Square?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. The only one that can probably tell us would be the defendant or Mr. Galfi, and of course Mr. Galfi can't anymore. So I don't know. That I don't know. And we don't have any witnesses, as far as I know, out in Times Square. By the way, we did say, well, how do you know he was in Times Square? I'm waiting for somebody else.
How long were you there for? And how did you know?
Is that coming? Or not? You know? Yeah, well, he did talk to people. Mm-hmm. And Fan 1 and Fan 2 have been very cooperative. So we're okay with what's happening with those two people. We're getting information, obviously, from some innocent people who happen to know him.
Did you know where he was staying in Times Square or how long he was there for?
No, I don't.
Can you say anything about the nature of the text between the two of them? In other words, could you figure out what their relationship was?
No, it's more like come pick me up and I'll be there at this time, or blah blah blah, that sort of thing. But not anything of a personal nature that would give us any other information other than pick up time. Yeah.
Prosecutor, did Fan 1 and 2 know him prior to this?
I think they knew him through the internet, and somehow they reached out. I think,
and had
quite frankly, what I understand is the one fan was completely shocked that he reached out to, or I'm sure he had a number of people writing to him. I don't know how the hell they ever got his mailing address.
For
Jimmy Kimmel did, I guess. Yeah.
For Galfi himself, as well respected, as well known as he had been in the county, especially in the circles, was he known to be a guy that would just pick up a total stranger in Times Square?
Not that we know. Not that my office knows anything about that. No, I have no knowledge that would indicate that he was the type of guy who would go pick up something. So, to answer your question, I have no knowledge of that. Yes,
Prosecutor, you said you don't have any idea where he could be, but you also named Georgia. I mean, do you all think that
he mentioned to one of the fans that he was heading out to Georgia to see a girlfriend, I believe. So I don't know if that's true or not. We don't know. We're following through on that. Philly has a lot of hubs there, with trains and buses and whatever. So we're trying to locate that way. There is a bolo out pretty much nationwide. We know he's not using that phone any longer, but we believe he will show up. Someone will spot him.
Do you find his actions, from what you can tell, to be thought out? I mean, these are the actions of someone who is doing things methodically, or just?
He's being charged with homicide premeditated. So we believe, yeah, he thought it out. Whether it was over a course of a minute or two, or whether it was over the course of an evening, whether it was because he took things out of the house, or any sorts of reasons why. And I'm not going into that part yet, but we're looking into that.
Did Mr. Galfi live alone?
Sorry?
Did Mr. Galfi live alone?
Yes, he did.
Did he have children, adult children?
No.
No?
To my knowledge, she was not married and had not been married.
Was there any, I realize this question may sound inappropriate, but was there any indication of any kind of sexual relationship between the two?
There has been some indication of that on Facebook. And I'm being totally candid with you. Probably some of you may be aware of that, but there were, I think, pretty much self-serving statements by Mr. McGillvary on the Facebook. We're aware of those statements.
What are those statements?
I'm not going to repeat them, even though we're a lot of adults here. You can read them, but they're sexual in nature, and they were made by Mr. McGillvary following the homicide.
Prosecutor, yes, given his travels, extensive all over, is your belief in being contacted now with law enforcement around the country that he may be wanted in other murders or assaults or any kind of violent crimes with these interactions along the road that he's been traveling?
It's an interesting question, and we have no indication that he is part of any other homicide, although I must admit we are looking into his travels. We have located various points along the way where he has been, and we have determined that there may have been some homicides along the way. We're not accusing him of anything. He's only charged in this matter, but we're looking into that. Anytime you get a drifter, and then all of a sudden he's being charged with a homicide, it would be a lack of responsibility for us not to look into that possibility. So we're looking into it.
So you have some idea of where he was before Times Square?
Do I have any idea? Other than Jimmy Kimmel's show? No, I was told that, but I really, without being
You say you're looking at his
I don't know.
travels.
I don't know where he was.
You have
We're
pictures?
trying to do that too.
You have pictures of him at the house?
No.
You said you had pictures.
Well, we have this picture.
Yeah.
Is that a tattoo?
No, I think that looks like a glove. Bandana. Could be similar to that one. So I think it's a bandana. Is it? No, it's a tattoo. Oh, it is a tattoo. Oh, my God. Not into tattoos.
So after about 9 o'clock on Sunday night after the murder, he tried reaching out to Fan 1 and wasn't able to reach her. Or she wasn't able to come and get him. Is that right?
Yeah.
He somehow got to the train station and went to Asbury Park from there? Went to Asbury Park, I mean?
The next morning.
Where did he stay Sunday night?
Don't know. We're following through on that. Cameras are wonderful things. We're tracking as best we can various locations, but they have assisted us in our searches so far. Any other questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.